The woman gently tapped her cheeks with her fingers. She was actually talking to a prisoner sentenced to death by the Morse court. She asked him if there was any way to save him. The man blinked in response. There was a lot of information, so the woman quickly took out a pen and wrote everything down. When their conversation ended, the trial was over. He was sentenced to death 3 days later. But he wasn't worried at all because he had just made a brilliant escape plan with the woman. His name was Diabolik, a notorious thief. That night, Eva reached the place Diabolik had mentioned. She pressed a marked brick on the wall, and the entire wall began to rise. Behind it was a magnificent car. Eva got in the car and immediately set off for the next location. Seeing the 37-kilometer sign, she stopped the car. Suddenly, a part of the mountain turned into a door and slowly began to open. When the car went inside, the scene was completely different. Eva put on a security coat, and a cupboard came out on its own. Inside were bundles of notes and colorful medicines. Eva picked up the yellow and green vials that Diabolik had specifically requested. Now she just had to get Diabolik out of jail. But for that, she needed a special man, the Justice Minister. This man was corrupt and also crazy about beautiful women. He was already captivated by Eva's beauty and always wanted to have her. When he saw Eva come to him, he became eager and started closing the door. Eva said she wanted to test his loyalty. The minister immediately swore he was ready to go through fire and water for Eva. Eva smiled slightly and picked up the newspaper on the table. It had the news of Diabolik's execution. Eva said she found the story of this notorious thief very interesting and wanted to meet him before the execution. The minister flatly refused because he was a death row inmate. Eva came close and touched him. The minister immediately agreed, but said a condition that he would go with Eva. Eva gave a mischievous smile. That's exactly what she wanted. That night, both reached the jail. The minister made an excuse that he needed to interrogate Diabolik. They both went into the interrogation room. 27 minutes later, the minister came out and said in a cold tone that Diabolik was like a piece of wood. Nothing could be extracted from him. The jailer replied that he had always been like that, completely silent without any expression. The next day, the time for execution arrived. The jail guards cut Diabolik's collar and forcibly laid him on the guillotine. But the surprising thing was that he was completely calm even then. Seeing his strange behavior, the jail officer felt something was wrong. He remembered the human skin masks found at Diabolik's house. Suddenly, he had a very bad feeling and immediately ordered the execution to be stopped.